Imagine if one day the US government suddenly decided that the real power struggle isn't with some enemy country anymore, but with the massive corporations like Google and Amazon right inside its own backyard. How would the world look then? What if the companies that shape our daily lives, our info, our shopping, and even our decisions become such powerful forces that the state starts feeling threatened by them? What if the biggest superpower on the planet starts feeling weak in front of these silent but insanely powerful digital giants? And here's the big question. If this war kicks off, how far beyond borders will its impact spread? For centuries, humans have fought wars over land, wealth, religion, and ideology. But the forms of power have evolved over time. Empires were built with swords, then cannons, later tanks, and warplanes. Nowadays, these battles have turned into wars fought with network cables, data centers, and algorithms. States no longer rely just on military might. They want a strong presence in the digital world too, or else these mega companies will leave them in the dust. Back in the last century, one thing was crystal clear: enemies stood face to face. World War I was fueled by European geography and power balances. World War II was driven by ideological clashes and a global power game. The Cold War split the world in two, the US on one side, the Soviet Union on the other. These wars were fought state versus state. But now, the structure of global power is shifting. Today, many nations recognize that data, information, is the new weapon. Back then, gold and oil ruled the world. Now, whoever controls data controls the planet. That's why over the last few years, the US has been questioning giants like Google, Amazon, Meta, Apple, and Microsoft, wondering how long these companies will keep growing stronger than governments themselves. Historically, governments have stepped in to check big corporations. In the early 1900s, Standard Oil was broken up because it was becoming more powerful than the government. AT&T was split apart too. But today's fight is way more complex, because these companies' power isn't just economic. It's about information, minds, and society's very behavior. When a company starts deciding what you see, what you buy, who you trust, what makes you angry, and what makes you laugh, the government realizes this isn't just business competition anymore, it's about national security. That's why, in recent years, the US government has been ramping up pressure on Google and Amazon under antitrust laws, trying to curb their power. But here's the twist. What if these companies push back? What if their tech, their data, their global reach and financial muscle give them the power to take steps even governments can't stop? These are the questions keeping US politicians, think tanks, and security agencies up at night. In the future, wars might not be fought with tanks and missiles, but with servers and algorithms. States might try to limit these companies on the digital battlefield, while companies lean on their users to protect a free internet and open tech. On one side, the government fights for survival. On the other, the companies fight to secure their digital empires. Imagine if the government cracks down on Google and Google temporarily shuts down services or tweaks search rankings. How would people react? In a country where millions depend on these platforms every day, this could become a quiet but powerful form of political pressure. This is the battlefield where wars won't be fought with words, but with digital signals. Going forward, if Amazon halts logistics or its data centers shut down in protest against government orders, the national economy could grind to a halt within hours. When companies get so powerful that their decisions impact entire nations, a new kind of war could erupt between state and capital. The global fallout would be massive too. These companies influence nearly every country on Earth. If conflict between the US government and these giants kicks off, other nations will shift their policies accordingly. Some might lean on Chinese firms instead, plunging the global tech world into a new kind of Cold War. It's also possible these companies form new alliances, creating global platforms that challenge state decisions. This alliance could be a digital bloc that runs the world via algorithms on its own terms. States would then not just battle each other, but also these private giants with direct access to the minds of the people. If the US truly launches a full-on state war against its corporations, it would reshape the future of democracy, economies, media, trade, and technology worldwide. It might be the first war with no bullets fired, no cannons blazing, but with impacts so deep, generations will feel them. At the end of the day, we've stepped into an era where the definition of power has flipped. Power isn't about armies anymore, it's about info. Military bases have become data centers. Weapons aren't guns, but secret algorithms. This question remains crucial today and will only get bigger. Who really holds the world's power? States, or these companies silently controlling every aspect of our lives? If you dug this video, found it thought-provoking or helpful, please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share it with your crew. That way, more folks get clued in on these crucial topics, and we can keep bringing you top-notch, eye-opening content. Thanks a ton.